Hi, my name is Judy, and I have a couple of quick tips for healthy feet for you today. I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So the first tip, look at my feet. The first tip is to just bring your toes back as far as you can towards your face. And you'll notice, maybe you can see, maybe not, you'll notice when I have my feet just flat, as opposed to when I begin to lift those toes, these arches begin to lift. So even just going back and forth, doing a few toe raises, can help to strengthen your arches. Our arches tend to get very sleepy because we're in shoes all the time and we have lots and lots of padding. So that's tip number one. The next thing, when you're practicing yoga, let me angle it this way. No, you have to be able to see. Okay, the next thing, if you're practicing yoga, if your toes are just squished together, like you just got out of some shoes, I want you to lift those toes and just spread them as far apart as you can, and then just bring them down to your mat. So when we're pushing into our toes, let me stand up a minute. I'm going to disappear here, but you can see my feet. When we're pushing into those toes, when we're in yoga asana, sorry for the headless yoga teacher, we want to have our toes spread out as far apart as possible so that we can really grip our mat, the ground, whatever. It's good for your toes. Next, when you're in yoga asana, I really want you to think about generally where your toes are pointing. I will cue you generally if they should be pointing out, but we don't think about that a whole lot. And most of the time, a lot of the time, we want our toes to be pointing straight forward, as one of my teachers says, as if they are the number 11. So just go ahead and notice that when you're practicing yoga. Notice if maybe your feet are out to one side, or maybe you're a little pigeon-toed. We really want them to be relatively straight. And also notice while you're there, how you are on the sides of your feet. Are you rolling out to one side? Are you rolling into one side? Generally, you don't want to roll out one side or the other. So another thing to think about is to push into your big toes and also try and push into your pinky toes, which can be surprisingly difficult. If you're not used to doing it, you may experience some toe cramps. Another tip I have, especially for yoga, you do want to practice barefoot, but it's also really good to go barefoot in your house, to walk around barefoot in your house. Now, if your podiatrist or your doctor told you never ever to walk barefoot in your house, go ahead and listen to them. I'm not a medical doctor. However, you may want to research a little bit on your own and see whether or not this seems like a good idea to you, and then bring your research to your doctor and see what they have to say. Our feet just aren't meant to be squished into tight, narrow shoes all day long. They're just not. And last little exercise I'm going to give you, because strong feet are happy feet that don't give us pain, go ahead once again and lift those toes. Put the pinky toes down. I'm sorry. Lift the toes, put the big toes down, and then put the pinky toes down, which can be surprisingly difficult. And then try to put the fourth toe down, and then the third, and then the fourth. We don't think about actually using our toes too often, and it's hard, especially if you haven't been doing it. But it's another great way to strengthen your feet. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you'll give some of these tips a try. I hope that you will practice my stronger foot practice, and I hope that you have happy, pain-free feet. And if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button. It helps to make it available to more and more people.